You're listening to the BBC World Service. Now it's time for World Stories. And in this programme, Saroj Patirana heads to Sri Lanka to follow the story of a widow who's searching for her husband's legacy.
I heard the shots. So I ran to the front door. Then the security boy, he asked me to get in. At this time, the shots were going on and I was calling people. They didn't answer, so I don't know what is happening. The kitchen boy came and shut the door also, front side door, and locked it.
On the 13th July 1989, Appapillai Amirthalingam, one of the most significant leaders the Tamil community in Sri Lanka has ever had, was shot dead at his home. His wife found his body.
After nearly 3 or 4 minutes, I went upstairs and saw my husband was sitting on the bamboo chair. I touched him at the cheek and he opened his mouth. I thought he is going to talk to me, but the blood came and it was pouring out.
She left the country 10 days later to live in the UK. In the 20 years that followed, Sri Lanka was torn apart by a violent civil war. My name is Saroj Patirana. I work for the Sinhala section of the BBC World Service. I'm from Sri Lanka and have been covering the conflict for over 10 years. Sinhala and Tamil communities in Sri Lanka are divided by language, by culture, by religion and geography. The Tamil community in the north and east are in the minority. They've been calling for an independent homeland for more than 30 years.
For nearly 1 decade we have had violence matched by violence on both sides. And the government of Sri Lanka added fuel to the fire by closing the door on the democratic process.
Appapillai Amirthalingam was one of the leading lights among Tamil politicians. He was the only Tamil national ever to be appointed to the powerful position of leader of the opposition. The day he was killed was a significant moment in Sri Lankan history. Everyone remembers where they were when they heard he'd been assassinated. He was by no means the only leader to die in this way, but he was the only Tamil leader with a mass following who campaigned peacefully for a separate state for the Tamils. He wanted negotiation, not guns. His death was a turning point. No other leader commanded such a following. It's been a year since the Tamil Tigers were militarily defeated, and I've come back to Sri Lanka with the wife and younger son of Amirthalingam. Neither of them have ever been back to the house where he was killed 21 years ago.
I love my country. Sri Lanka is a beautiful country, beautiful island. But the war has damaged everything. I feel not happy, neither sad, but anyway, I have come here.
It's clearly hard for her arriving back in this country. I now know that one of the reasons they've come back is that they finally made contact with the security guard who managed to kill all 3 assassins on the spot. And I asked her what else she hopes for from this trip.
This is a good opportunity for me to renew all my thoughts and his deeds, what he did to the community. And also, even though it's so painful to me to come back, it's a good opportunity to see the place where I was with my husband and the security person, Nisanka, and his family.
Why is it that important, this security guard, Nisanka, meeting him?
Everywhere when these people come and murdered people, they escaped. At least these people were killed there. by Nisanka.
The Amirthalingams first met at a Tamil national festival.
He saw me singing in the Tamil festival. I was 19 plus at that time. He was 26.
And he was a politician?
Yes. And he sent word to my parents that he wanted to marry me. First, my father disagreed. He was a politician. I don't want my daughter to get married to a politician. Then after my mother's brother came and told my mom and father, he is a very nice person, he has all good qualities, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink. Then my father agreed.
During their lives together, they became an extraordinary political partnership.
He took me to the meetings along with him. And afterwards, the leader, S.J. Vichelvanayagam, he knew that I can sing and I can speak also. So he wanted me to sing at the meetings. He drew me into politics and then I liked it. Kaadilonin kundalamum kaikki valaya padiyum.
The couple had two boys, Kandipan and Bahiradan. They also got involved in politics from an early age.
From childhood onwards, I used to wake up in the back seat of the car sleeping in an election meeting or a propaganda meeting or a political meeting. But then later on, from 76 to 83, whenever I had leave from my school, I used to be his driver.
Wasn't that illegal? I reckon you should have been 14, 15 by that
16.
time. 16.
16.
And you were driving?
I was driving. I did drive without the driving license. But I was a good driver, believe me.
And then you said by the age of 11, you were addressing meetings also.
Some meetings.
So what was the response?
It was good. The people were really fond of me, I should say. But my brother later on told me my father lost the election because of me. So it was a kind of joke in the family. He was a wonderful father and he was a wonderful leader as well. That's how I saw him later on, rather than a father. He was so fond of us as well as he was so fond of the family.
The whole family became deeply involved in political campaigning. Mrs. Amirthalingam was a regular feature at political rallies and on doorsteps at election time. And both of the sons were passionate about the Tamil cause from a young age. Both of them ended up joining the armed struggle. I find it extraordinary that while their father is trying to promote a peaceful settlement, his sons are joining militant groups and arming themselves.
He didn't stop me from taking up arms. He didn't stop my brother. But he never supported the militant activities, killing civilians, targeting civilian villages, Sinhala villages, and killing the fellow Tamils. He never accepted that.
I myself left Sri Lanka a month after your father's assassination. And I remember being a Sinhalese and having listened to and having read Sinhala newspapers and Sinhala media. Your father was not regarded in Sinhala media, in Sinhala political circles, as someone who was moderate, but actually who tried to divide the country, and some kind of a very, very prominent figure who was actually supporting the separatism. What would you say?
Yeah, he was for the separatism of the country. He thought that separation is the only way. He was a kind of forceful, moderate politician. He wasn't a militant. He was a moderate fighter.
This road?
No, it's a small road. It's not a road even. It takes to a couple of houses.
We are trying to find the house that the Amirthalingam family used to live in here in Colombo.
Yes, that's the place. Let's go.
You can leave the bag in the car.
410 upon 27.
It is the first time Mrs. Amirthalingam as well as Dr. Bahiradan, Mr. Amirthalingam's younger son, came back to this place after the assassination of Mr. Amirthalingam.